This is Tracey from GiftBasketAppeal, and today we're going to be covering this bottle using this really pretty tissue. And this is Dollar Tree tissue paper. It's the gift tissue that you put in the bags and stuff. So I thought this would look really nice to Mod Podge it onto a bottle. I normally do napkins, but I thought this would be really good. So I'm super excited to see how it's going to turn out. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to paint this with 2 coats of white acrylic paint. And I just use the apple barrel paint. It's a snow white paint, but you can use any of the white paints. This is a matte acrylic paint. It's 50 cents at Walmart, so you don't have to spend a whole lot. And I usually leave this at least 20 to 30 minutes, usually between drying time. And then if I have to put on another coat, I put on another coat and let that dry for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's nice and dry. And the nice thing about this bottle is it's going to look really pretty. I'm going to go straight up to the neck part here with my hearts. And so looking at this tissue paper, it's a little bit translucent. You can see through it. So once I start ripping it away and placing it on the white bottle, it'll make the colors pop really nicely. So at least that's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so this is just a single layer. There's no like separation needed here. All I'm going to do is just start ripping parts that I want to decorate my bottle with. So it's super simple. And so I don't want any defined edges. I don't want any straight lines. And this is much sturdier than the napkin, so I'm thinking all will be well. So probably once I get to the top of my bottle, I'll put individual hearts, just kind of place them wherever I need them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rip a couple of these away, and then we'll start applying them with the Mod Podge. Okay, so these are the pieces I have so far, and I just kind of randomly rip them away. No definite edges. That's the fun of doing this type of craft, is that there's no definite edges on these. It's just basically ripping them and placing them on your bottle. And if I need more, I can see where I might need more. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm using some Mod Podge, and this is just the gloss luster Mod Podge. It's not anything like the matte finish. There are some matte finish Mod Podges. If you want to use those, you can. But I usually, this is the standard one that I use. There's also a water-based one too. Okay, so we're just gonna, I got my little foam brush here, and we're just gonna put a little bit on here. And work in different areas. Okay, and one other important thing I forgot to tell you is you want to have your cling wrap. And what I normally do, and I know everyone's technique is different, I just take my cling wrap, ball it up, and then I smooth out my napkins with, in this case, tissues. So I'm just covering an area here. And then once I have the area that I want covered, I'll put my tissue on, just place it where I want. And I kind of like the fact that the hearts are going in different directions. And then I take my cling wrap and I press it on. Now I notice that this is much sturdier than the napkins. So you don't have to be as gentle. With the napkins, I notice I have to be very, very gentle with them. But these go on pretty good. I'm just taking it and smoothing out the edges. And see, if you wanted to leave it just like that, you can. Just a little area of hearts, you can do that too. It's up to you. And this paper, I don't know if you can see it, but this paper has some little tiny sparkly things on it. That looks good, just with just a little bit right there, but I'm going to just do the whole bottle because that's what I envisioned. But if you wanted to stop there, pop a rose on top, you could. It still look nice. And if you hear that scratching and noise, I've got my dog Cinnamon in here tonight with me. And he's looking for a spot right now to lay down. That's why he's so antsy. I think he's just tired. Okay. Take another piece, cover it, and I don't connect them. I just kind of lay them on. And so with this, yeah, this is much more sturdier than the napkins. And this is just a gift tissue because I'm smoothing out with my hands. Usually I use this. I don't want to do that too much, but usually I use the saran wrap or the cling wrap to smooth it out. But I was able to smooth that out with my hands. So imagine the possibilities with all of this tissue. And for $1, hey, you can't beat that. And I got a ton of this paper for $1 in the gift section. Look how cute that is. Yep, I'm loving it. It's coming along there. Okay. Work over on this side here. And Mod Podge is really nice because it dries clear. I love using Mod Podge. And you can Mod Podge just about anything. And at the end, I'll show you all of the other projects that I'm going to be working on. So I will have those done by the end of this video so you can see some other techniques on different kinds of containers. Not just a wine bottle. So you can do this just about on any glass container. Great way for upcycling. Look how cute that looks. You can see that real good. Yep, it's coming along. And I just kind of missed the area right there, but I'm just going to put a little bit underneath there and just keep going. And I just take it underneath and just smooth it outward so the edges don't come up. Okay. So I'm going to continue ripping this stuff off. I'm having a good time here. You can do anything you want with these. Remember that. You can do anything you want on these. Just throw out all of those rules and all the things that you think are restricting you and just go for it. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. So to me, there's really no mistakes. So you just kind of go with the flow and keep on doing it. And don't be afraid to try new things. You might end up finding a new technique just from your mistake or your opportunity, right? Okay, pressing that down a little bit. And yep, I've got some wrinkles. I see I got some wrinkles. But guess what? It's okay. Okay, I am loving that. Look at that, just randomly placing a bottle that would have normally been thrown out now becomes a work of art. All right, so I'm going to continue going up this bottle and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I still have to put my coat of Mod Podge on here, my final coat, just kind of just laying it on. I'll do that in a minute. But one of the things that I did was, if I didn't have enough hearts to fill in on my bottle, if there was more open space and I felt like it needed more, I just ripped away tiny pieces of hearts and just placed them wherever I needed them. And so that made it super easy to do, and that way you can really tailor it and put more on there if that's what you want. Okay, so now we're just going to take some Mod Podge and I'm just going to be gentle with it and just put a final coat on here. And so I'm just kind of spreading it out, outward motions. And it's going to look cloudy at first, but don't worry about that. And this will have a nice glossy sheen. Now, some people have done, sprayed it with acrylic sealer. I've done that before. Sometimes I don't spray it with acrylic sealer, and this is the one that I use. This is really good too. It's a gloss finish acrylic sealer, and it's Aleene's acrylic sealer gloss finish, and it protects and beautifies. So this is it says it's for indoor and outdoor projects. So get yourself some of this if you like painting those bottles and you want it to have a nice finish on it. So I'm just kind of smoothing it out. And this looks absolutely beautiful. Once again, it's cost effective. And now I'm going to start going back and looking at some of the gift tissue that they have in Dollar Tree, because there's a huge area that they have over there. And I know I can find some pretty cool ones. So, and it is good to work with. So I can tell you that. I've done this years ago with my daughter, just kind of doing the kids' crafts. And we did a mason jar. But we just used regular tissue. Never thought to use like the decorated tissue like this. So this is coming out beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, and I'm going to let it dry. And normally I like to let it dry from 24 to 48 hours, anywhere in between that. So just have fun with it. And once it's dry, I will come back and show you one more thing we're going to do with it. Okay, so my bottle is all done. And look how gorgeous that looks. This is just so much fun to look at. And I decided not to do anything with this top here, like right around the rim. But if you wanted, you can put some bling around it. You can put some ribbon. Like if I was to take ribbon, let me just show you another idea. You can possibly take some red ribbon and go around the top. Just like that, just adding just one little thing, just showing you some ideas. And I may go back and do that, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to add a rose to this. Just top it off with a rose. That's it, very simple. Let me just get my glue gun going here. All right. And the good thing is, it might be a good thing to have the glue gun turned on. All right, so I'm just going right along the top here to attach my rose. Don't have to do much. This will stay on really, really well. Okay, I'm just going to just place it right there. And so what I did was I took all of the leaves off. I didn't want to have the leaves on there, so you can always do that. But I save these leaves as well too for other projects. So I don't like to waste anything. Now if I wanted to, I can take some of these little baby breaths that came from another flower and maybe stick it in here somewhere. I could just kind of cut it, let's see, and kind of glue it down somewhere in there, just like that possibly. Not liking that today, but who knows, tomorrow I might like it. Okay, so that's all done, and look how adorable that looks. And I got to show you some of the other ones that I worked on as well, so that you can have different ideas, different shapes of bottles. And don't forget to hit this or spray this down with some of the gloss from Aleene's acrylic sealer if you want to. Some bottles I do, some bottles I don't, and some of them are still fine. Actually, all of them are fine. Okay, here's another one. This was a olive oil bottle. It was like dark green. So just a little paint and some tissue to liven it up. And then I took some of my ribbon that I had in my stash and put that around the top. I'm not sure if I'm going to add a flower to it yet, but this is so cute. And so if you wanted to make some kind of Valentine's Day centerpieces, you could, using the bottles. It's cost effective. Here's one of the other ones that I did, and this was the salsa jar, and I just put ribbon around this top here. I hot glued the ribbon on, and right here, so it's got like a double ribbon that looks so cute for the top. Now I have to still decide whether I'm going to put a knob on top. Some of you suggested putting the knob on using some E6000 and some hot glue together. So I may have to go and find me a cute little knob, maybe at a Goodwill or a thrift store. And so y'all let me know where y'all get, if you do that kind of project, where you get your knobs from. I know some you can buy online too. Yes, look how cute this is. And then so if I open this up, look, filled it with candy. This cost me $1 to make because I bought the candy for $1 from Dollar Tree. It's the little heart-shaped chocolates. But isn't it so pretty to just give to a teacher or maybe even a co-worker, and then after the jar is empty, they could either fill it up with something else or they could use it for some kind of supply. I think this makes a perfect teacher gift. And it doesn't cost a lot. I mean, $1, and I'm just upcycling what I already have. So I hope this gave you a couple of ideas. I'm so glad with the way these turned out. I think they're just absolutely adorable. And I will see you real soon. Bye.